Welcome to another life-changing episode of Leaders Arise. This is Demola Awoyele, and I want to appreciate you for being a part of my world every now and then. And I believe today's sharing will be a blessing to you. Don't forget that at Leaders Arise, we discuss matters that has to do with life and leadership, with the hope that you will be more productive in your endeavor. Today, I want to still further on our discussion on visionary living. We've been on this for close to 3 weeks now, at least over 2 weeks. And it's my prayer that as we further on this topic today, it would be a huge blessing to you. Now, at the last episode, I made mention of the fact that vision is the key to provision. And I would need you to get back on this feed or this timeline or this page that you are streaming from and go back to the previous episode, because you would gain a lot and it will help you to better understand my sharing today. But because of time, I will not go back to what I shared the last episode. Let's push further on today's episode. I want to emphasize that vision is the key to provision. And while I said that 3 episodes ago, I just feel in my heart I need to help somebody to unravel that mystery. Because for somebody, that might not be the first time that you would hear something like that. And to you, you are asking, so how does it come? Okay, I'm following vision, but I'm not seeing provision. And that was why I told you last 2 episodes that you have got to trust. Number one, you've got to relinquish ownership. God doesn't struggle with a man. Genesis 6 verse 3 said, my spirit will not always strive with man. So when you are overly possessive of the vision, God leaves you to go and run it your own way. And that's why you meet a brick wall. Sometimes you think you can do it on your own because I have enough saving, because I have an uncle in Dubai, another brother in America, I have an auntie at the Senate and all of that. So you are running because of that. And when those channels shut down, you hit a brick wall and you now say, God, come and help me. So the reason why people are not getting provision for their vision is, number one, because they have not relinquished ownership. They have not relinquished ownership. They never come to the realization that this vision is not theirs, it is God. It is His vision, but He gave you to carry it out on His behalf. Number 2 is to trust God. That means let not your trust be on people, let it be on God. Trust in the Lord with all your heart. And lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge Him, and He will direct your path on how to get provision for His vision for your life. And of course, I said, you also need to understand that you get provision on the mountain of the Lord. The mountain of prayer, the mountain of study, the mountain of meditation. God will show you where He has hidden money or provisions for you. Then the last one I said personally, which I want to emphasize again today, is that you've got to invest into that vision. Provision is still coming, but until you invest your attention, you invest your time, you invest into that vision. God doesn't just pour provision in the hands of people who are not doing anything with the vision. And that's why vision is for runners. You have got to run. A lot of provisions are still coming, but until you get to work. Do you see that now? Until you get to work, the provisions will not come. All right, so you need to understand that it is on the mountain of the Lord, like I said earlier, that you get provision. But also you've got to invest into the vision. You've got to invest. You don't play trance with the vision and expect provisions to come. You don't loaf about. Vision is for runners, like I said earlier. It is those that run with the vision that get the provisions of God for the vision. And the point I want to emphasize today, still on this discussion about provision, is that vision delivers in phases. And therefore, provisions also will show up in phases. This is one thing I feel like saying over and over again, because I've interacted with visionaries over the years. And you know the way God does things. He will show you the end from the beginning. But you need to be wise enough to know that it is still the end. So before that end comes, you will go, there will be different phases of the vision. So God can show you today now as a businessman that you have an outlet or branch all over the world. That's the vision. That your conglomerate is now in every continent of this world, every country of this world. And because when God shows you that vision, it appears very real. The mistake we make most times is to want to step out immediately and try to go all over the world. And because you are trying to go all over the world, you won't get the provision for all over the world. But I can get you rest assured that you will get provision for your local government. But most time people are not satisfied with that. He said, what is this among so many? That was what the disciples said in John chapter 6. What is this among so many? God has given me the vision, a global vision, but I'm having a local provision. It is because your vision is still at the local level. That is the phase. There's nothing bad with being at the local level. That's the phase you are in. But guess what? As you keep on becoming faithful, getting faithful with that vision at that local level, God begins to move you upwards and forward. And the provision will be commensurate with your progress. There are times that all you will get is 5,000 naira because that's the level that vision is at that time. Don't get discouraged, even though God has shown you a $50 billion vision. But now you are getting 5,000 naira. And when you marry what God has shown you with where you are, they don't align. Don't be discouraged because that is the phase you are at that moment. That's the phase. So what you need to do is now to invest yourself into that phase. Get faithful to God and to that vision. When you get to the phase of 50,000 naira, provision for 50k will come. A time will come, it will be provision of 500,000, 5 million, and so on and so forth. I think I've helped somebody today. So rather than getting discouraged that God has shown you a $50 billion vision, but the only provision you have now is a 5,000 naira provision, it is because that is the phase that vision is at that time. Because the vision of God will deliver in phases, and because of that, the provision will deliver in phases. The reason why people are running into debt, and listen to me, I don't think you should run divine vision on debt. I don't think so. I don't think so. You might be practicing that, but I don't think that is the ultimate plan of God. Why would you run into debt filling God's vision? To my mind, I may be wrong, but that's the way I think sometimes, that if I don't have money for it now, maybe that's not the time for me to have it. Did you see that? Maybe that's not the time. Because God makes everything beautiful in His time. Ecclesiastes 3, is it verse 11? He makes everything beautiful in His time. Everything beautiful. So if I understand that vision delivers in phases, provision is also in phases, I won't stress myself. Now there's a place of faith, don't get me wrong, but faith is not an enemy of wisdom. You will stretch your faith to fulfill vision, but you don't stress yourself. Because it will deliver in phases. This is one mystery a lot of visionaries do not understand. And that's the reason for heartaches. That's the reason for disappointment. That's the reason why it looks as though God is unfaithful. Because you are asking for a provision of 50 million when the phase you are in is a phase of 5,000 naira. And God will be faithful to provide 5,000. Rather than thanking God for that 5,000 because He actually provided that, you are ungrateful because you didn't get 50 million. Did you see that now? That's why I say, even when you are unfaithful, He remains faithful because He cannot deny Himself. But God's faithfulness is tied to your vision, to the vision that He has given you, not to your ambition. Your ambition might be to go all over the world with your business. Your ambition might be to build a 10,000 seater auditorium as a pastor, fill it with AC, but God said you will get there, but not now. So for now, I will provide you with a rented hall, provide you with this. That's why a man of vision must be contented. That's what Hebrews chapter 13 verse 5 says. So let your conversation or a way of life be without covetousness. He said, be content with whatever you have, because he has said, I will never leave you nor forsake, so that you may boldly say, the Lord is my help. I will fear what no man can do to me. Did you see that now? So contentment is the rule of the game. And contentment says, this is not where I'm going, but this is where I am by the virtue of my journey with God. And I'm going to enjoy it. In fact, contentment says, I will enjoy where I am on the road to where I'm going. That is the spirit of contentment. Contentment is not complacency. Complacency means you are not driven. You just feel, oh, I cannot come and kill myself. This one is okay. That's complacent. The Bible is against complacency. Amos 6 verse 1. Woe unto them who are at ease in Zion. But contentment says, I may not be where I should be yet, but I'm not where I used to be. So I will be grateful for where I am on the road to where I'm going. I will enjoy where I am on the road to where I'm going. So that contentment or element of contentment is a necessary requirement for fulfilling God's vision for your life. Because God will not always give you what you need, everything at once. He will give you per phase. He will give you per time. So you must learn to manage the phase and the time properly so that you can be at peace and you can enjoy where you are on the road to where you are going. Remember when he gave them the commission of the great commission in Acts chapter 1 verse 8, he said, you shall receive power after the Holy Ghost has come upon you, and you shall be my witness in Jerusalem, in Judea, in Samaria, and to the uttermost part of the earth. The uttermost part of the earth is the vision. That's where they are going. But they will pass through Samaria, they will pass through Judea, they will pass through before they get to the uttermost part of that. The same thing with God's vision for your life. So like Jesus said, you will be my witness first in Jerusalem, in Judea and Samaria, and to the uttermost part of the earth. So when you are still in Jerusalem, you won't get the provision for the uttermost part of the earth. Do you understand? When you are still in Judea, you can't get the provision for Samaria. So earth day comes when you are looking for the provision for the uttermost part of the earth, when you are still just starting in Jerusalem. And that's the way God works. The provisions of God will come in phases because the vision is in phases. So a man of vision must follow the God of the vision, who will take you by the hand and lead you to different phases of the vision, precept upon precept, like Isaiah 28 says, line upon line, a little here and a little there. So with these few points of mind, I think I've been able to help somebody today to have peace with God's vision. Peace. And that peace comes because, number one, you are not overly possessive of the vision. It is God's vision giving you. Number two, you trust the God of the vision. Number three, you get to the mountain of God, all right, where you know provision lies. Number four, you invest in the vision, see time and harvest, because you know harvest is coming. Number 5, which is the last one I've shared today, that the vision will deliver in phase. So when the money is not coming, maybe I'm not yet in that phase. But when the phase comes, the provision will come. Thank you for being a part of the broadcast today. I look forward to hearing and hanging out with you again. God bless you.